Welcome to the 1996 State League Grand Final, live at Suncorp Stadium, where Redcliffe and Toowoomba play for supremacy in the inaugural year of the Queensland Cup.
And so it all comes down to this, the grand final of the Queensland Cup. And what a terrific battle we have coming up this afternoon with Redcliffe taking on Toowoomba. It's the country against the city. You couldn't want for a better grand final. Two teams that have been in sparkling form. And so what a wonderful conclusion to what has been a fantastic competition, one that we've certainly enjoyed covering throughout this rugby league season.
We're going to have a very polarised crowd. The people coming down from the Downs and from Redcliffe City. Should be a great game. I think the Clydesdales can win it.
Yes, a good crowd has turned up as well for this grand final, and the team's about to come out, and here they come, the Toowoomba Clydesdales. They've brought a bit of their weather with them too, I think, because it's a bit breezy and a little cool here at Lang Park. Possibility of a bit of rain, and Wally Fullerton Smith won't be looking forward to that. But David, looking at this Toowoomba side, and Donnie Saunders, he's led them so very well. As you said, there's a doubt over his fitness. He had a shoulder injury last week, and what a great job Mick Jenkins has done at hooker as well.
And here is the Dolphins. Ian Graham leads them out. The Dolphins who were here 2 years ago to win the Brisbane Premiership. They had a bit of a hiccup last year. They fancy their chances this afternoon. Wally Fullerton Smith and myself were down at the grand final breakfast this morning, and they are very, very confident, the Dolphins. I think their squad of 17, Jerry, when you look at them, and you really need to then have a look at their bench from Graham Cotter, James Hinchy, Bevan Canning and Cameron Hurren. Any one of those four players, or all four, would make a first-grade side in most other clubs. So it's a very, very strong squad of 17. And, of course, John Boxall has got those at his disposal with unlimited interchange.
And as we look forward to the kick-off, I think it'll be a great match.
Certainly will. So it's a reasonably strong breeze, and Toowoomba will be running with it in the opening half as Vol takes it up almost to the 20-metre line. And so the Toowoomba Clydesdales ready to see if they can win this first ever Queensland Cup, and what a terrific performance it will be if they are able to do that, and reflecting the wonderful rugby league traditions of the Downs. They have produced so many good rugby league players over the years.
19 minutes in the match so far. 0-0 is the score. Robinson out to Gould, lets a couple go, out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly lets one go back on the inside. Good sliding defence though, but O'Reilly bolts away from all of it. Rushes down the bouncer, can't make it in a touch. Tom O'Reilly has just put his foot on the touchline. Now the big fellow in here, grab his block. They didn't need that, the Dolphins. A little bit of a punch up on Sutton as well, and Oliver has to get in there. Now Sutton, this is interesting. After the whistle was blown, and I reckon the penalty was always going to go to Toowoomba here. When the whistle went, Sutton said, well, I've got nothing to lose, and he threw a couple. I felt it was totally unnecessary. And he's gone, hello, 10 minutes. This is a vital decision by Paul Oliver, and that vindicates the decision for Graham to go.
Certainly does.
With two players in the bin, one from each side. Ken Scott with Kinnaman at the first points. I think he's hit it pretty well. He's got the first points in the grand final. The Clydesdales lead by 2 points to 0 with 17 minutes to go up to half-time.
At a half-time, and they kicked a field goal to make it 3-2. Donnie Saunders now charging through the defence and across the halfway. He's got support there. The pass away and the kick inside by Peter Stenner, and Redcliffe clean up.
And over the underneath with O'Reilly and Robinson. This time Lawson, the flat pass to Colwell. What a tackle! He's up again, tries to go further but can't. Gould made the tackle. If they can get out to the left, they'll score. Lawson tries to dummy, tries to step away, does so. Lawson's in. Sean Lawson scores the try. In the urgency to get wide, the Toowoomba Clydesdales, through Sean Lawson, realised the dummy might be a chance. The defence went one way because they had to. They were desperate, and Lawson straightened to score.
Lawson's option here, you probably, you can't see all the players, but there are Toowoomba players all lined out there. Thought of a good long pass, stepped back inside Danny Nutley, and all of a sudden the gates were open. It was like the harbour bridge, and underneath it he went. Sean Lawson picks up the first try of the grand final.
To give them that special buffer. Moves in Scott Kinnaman, chips it straight down the middle, and the Clydesdales have snuck out to an 8-0 lead, and there's been 10 minutes of this second half.
They're looking for, they're only 30 metres out. Graham Connor able to offload across to Tweedy. He keeps it going from Gould out to Shipway. Shipway accelerating. Up to the corner he goes. He'll score. Shipway goes in for Redcliffe. And the grand final is wide open again. It's 8 points to 4. Toowoomba leading, but Redcliffe are back in the grand final.
Well, I said this kid could play, Mark Shipway. He played in the Colts with Redcliffe. He came there as a Colt. I think he's originally from New South Wales country. Score is 8-4. It's a try apiece. Let's have another look at it. Tweedy, good. They did well to keep the hands alive, the ball alive. Shipway out to... and then he just had Lawson opposite him, stood him up nicely. Hamlin was caught a little bit unawares by the pace and the stride of Mark Shipway. He scoots away. 8-4. Can Tony Gould get the extra 2 points?
Certainly, of course, Redcliffe have such terrific pace. Tony Gould's attempt looks pretty good. Over the black bar it goes. And so there are just 2 points in the grand final. Toowoomba 8, Redcliffe 6. We've got just 10 minutes left in the match.
Under 9 minutes to go in the grand final. The whole season hangs off this. Donny Saunders puts a beautiful pass up to the big front rower in Kate Spicer. Back on the inside to Richards. Beautiful pass by Saunders.
This time Toowoomba had better get back. The required distance as it goes to Gould. Gould going by himself. Getting it nicely back inside to Tweedy. Back to Robinson. No support there. Robinson will score. Robinson just short. He's just short.
Sixth tackle it was too. Peter Robinson, the legs wouldn't go fast enough for him. Who made the tackle? Kyle Warren is down there exhausted. So is Peter Stenner. He's down. Let's have another look. Peter Robinson also lost the ball. What a tackle. Kyle Warren. Peter Stenner, who I was critical of in the first half. I take everything back, Peter. You've been there when it counted. A tap. Why would Sutton hurry? Let's have another look.
It's Cameron
Over
Hurren.
the try line. Cameron Hurren. Oh, just couldn't put it down. Oh.
Running short of time. There goes the hooter. Toowoomba have won. The referee's called time off. It's full time. Celebrations on the downs. Toowoomba and Gary Lawrence, the coach. The Toowoomba Clydesdales have won the first Queensland Cup in a ripper of a grand final by 8 points to 6. Just 2 points between the two teams. What a competition, what a finale, and what celebrations there'll be now for this Toowoomba team. And just looking at them, Hamlin there, terrific game. Russell Bowl, Mickey Jenkins, the boys from the bush, they've done it by 2 points.
But I must now invite the captain of Toowoomba, Don Saunders, to come up and receive the trophy, the inaugural Channel 9 Queensland Cup. Well done, Don.
Before the half-time break. In the second half, despite major injuries, they were able to last it through and in the end get on top of Western, come through to again meet Redcliffe in the grand final. And with memories of that loss 2 weeks earlier, they've been able to come through with a magnificent grand final performance in a tough, hard decider. And there's the trophy, the Queensland Cup, the first ever Queensland Cup, and Don Saunders, who certainly deserves to be especially proud of his team. It's a great moment for them, a wonderful moment for the Toowoomba players. David, we'll see that try in just a moment, but they're the Toowoomba players celebrating. But I'm just sort of wondering whether you've gone up to Wally and said, "I told you so," yet.
No, well, I haven't been game to Jerry. Wally's obviously disappointed for his side, but I think everyone recognises, and the Redcliffe people as well, what a great grand final we've had here. A lot of the supporters, as we can see there, have stayed around to acknowledge the achievements of this Clydesdale side. And it just can't be underestimated, the fact they've come down from the country first season in so-called the big league, and they won it.
4 wonderful grand finals there, and the tradition is really building in the Queensland Cup, and now we're set for grand final number 5, and the 2 teams in contention for the Queensland Cup of 2000 are Toowoomba, who won the major semi-final, and they're up against Redcliffe, and they are 2 of the really dominant teams of the Queensland Cup competition in its history as well. When we look at the semi-final results, it was a big win for Toowoomba over Redcliffe to march straight into the grand final, and then last week Redcliffe were able to come back and turn it around against East. And a terrific crowd at Lang Park, Rugby League headquarters, for this big grand final of the Queensland Cup for 2000, and a few of your mates there, David.
Yes, Jerry, and there's one of the special guys. We're tribute to Chipsy today, Chipsy Harrington. There he is waving. Chipsy's doing a bit tough at the moment. A couple of old brothers boys, Lenny Dittmar, Johnny Layden, Mick Seary, they're all there, Bobby Cock and Paddy Hannon. There's about 40 guys brothers there today. They'll have a great day.
And out comes the Redcliffe team. They were well beaten in the major semi-final, but they came back in a blaze of glory last week. And there's their captain, Craig O'Dwyer, a tremendous captain, an experienced player. He actually played in a grand final with Norths at 5'8", and here he is captaining Redcliffe. And Redcliffe, well, just look at that lineup. There's so much experience in the side. Adam Mogg at fullback, George Wilson and Trent Lease give him plenty of speed and power on the wings, and John Olzard and Damien Richters are very skillful centres. Then Tony Gould, the master kicker at 5'8". Barry Denduck is a will-o'-the-wisp. He can do anything at halfback, and a tremendous forward pack, and that's where they might have the advantage over Toowoomba. Bob Campbell, Troy Lindsay and Craig O'Dwyer up front, and then Lou Scott, James Hinchy and Danny Burke. You could argue they've got one of the best packs in the competition.
The Toowoomba boys would love to go on with the job too. They were first into the grand final 2 weeks ago, winning the major semi, and they're led out there by Damon Keating. Great effort by Keating to lead this side. He suffered a car accident many years ago that challenged his career. Otherwise, there's no doubt he had the potential to go on and be one of the top Broncos players. He did make his debut for the Bronx this year. Let's have a look at the Toowoomba side. It is a beauty. These are the Broncos' young guns, the players of the future. Justin Hodges is at fullback. Adam Warwick and Chris Walker are the wings, 2 very good players. Brent Tate and Alex Wilson, big strong centres. Paul Warwick, one of the most delicate kickers in the game, left or right foot. Jace Van Dyke at half-back. Corey Parker, Michael Ryan and Damon Keating up front, and Darren Matt, Neil Wyatt and Darren Ingram make up a very hard-working back row. The referee is Tony Maxsood. They've got a great bench, the Toowoomba side.
Right, you're right.
It's coached by Ivan Hinjak. We are in for one great game.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, the players have probably got a few butterflies at the moment, and certainly lots of people in the stand as well. Tony Maxsood says time on, and the 2000 grand final of the Queensland Cup is underway. Redcliffe with the first use of the ball as it's carted out up almost to their 10-metre line.
By Warwick, George Wilson, long pass out the goal, flicks through the hands to Warwick, up there to Denduck, steps on the outside, good chance, it's wide now, out there Olzard, beautifully out to Trent Lease. What a try by the Dolphins, one side of the field to the other. We saw them do it last week. This is not easy to get the ball from one corner post to the other, and take a lot of credit here, Tony Gould. Pressure was coming for him, he was the first receiver, and he just flicked it over his head, and then Barry Denduck searched to the right.
Yeah, and there goes Denduck with his searching run, fires the pass out wide, and beautiful quick hands immediately to Lease, because he was the man who was in the open, and all he had to do was head for the line. By the time the defence got there, he was through. It was a good run by Bobby Campbell. It was really good work by George Wilson, racing into a dummy half. Then they flung it across, and this is Denduck, drawing defender after defender, creating the overlap, and then the pass out wide from Olzard onto Lease, and Lease puts it down for the try.
Great form with the boot this year, Richters, and in good form all round. He hooks it around, hits the uprights, and bounces away. Well, this will be a game of millimetres, and there's one indication. There's a 15 to 20 metre gap to the outside man. Troy Lindsay there, it's got there! Lindsay, the big man across! Well, what were Toowoomba thinking? The gap was enormous there near the uprights. They had gaps everywhere for that matter. And Troy Lindsay just spotted it and used his strength to bustle through the attempted tackles.
Well, the power and the strength and the experience of Redcliffe are starting to play in the last couple of minutes. And here we see the run by Troy Lindsay. Now look at the strength he shows. He's still short of the line there, reaches out, and despite the fact he's got 3 men hanging onto him, comes up with a try. Good bulking finishing work. And there, Mitchell, or Denduck rather, firing the pass to him. Corey Parker fell off the tackle. And with Kerrod Walters and Dennis White hanging on, he's able to cart them across the line and come up with a most important try. He can put Redcliffe well out in front. He's kicked that one okay. Up go the flags, and it's 10-0 in favour of Redcliffe. Back-to-back penalties against Toowoomba set them back on their heels. Clydesdale's on the left. Walters sends it out in that direction to Warwick. Turn back inside here. Code, it's Justin Hodges, and Hodges has scored the try underneath the goal post.
Hold everything. Video.
Well, Hodges is a big-time player. Well,
Fantastic work though by Warwick, Jerry, to set this up for Hodges.
The player was taken out.
Redcliffe player taken out. He wants it checked out. Well, this could be sensational. Redcliffe player taken out. Let's have a look. There was one dummy runner. There's the dummy runner by Webb. He wasn't taken out at all. The Toowoomba player was tackled without the ball. Justin Hodges through the middle. That's a fair try for mine, and a very good one at that. Carl Webb was the decoy. He didn't take anyone out. He was barreled.
Got that, Dennis?
And now Warwick, with all the confidence in the world, setting up to take the shot for goal. Surely they're going to award a try here.
I agree with you, David. It's just a beautiful play, isn't it? The pass on the inside, but not to the man you think's going to get the ball, the big fellow Webb. Instead, it's Hodges, and no one's going to stop him.
Play on. Got to be a try. Got to be a try for mine, and we've got a ball game on our hands. And it was a good try as well. Let's have a look at a good set piece. They finally got a set piece going after nothing going on. They've just taken the wrong man there. And Hodges, look at this footwork. Step back inside, went sideways around about a metre and a half with one of those side steps, and then straightened up. Great work. There's the try. The Clydesdales are back in the match.
Conversion attempt from Warwick is successful. And at half-time, it's 10-6 in favour of Redcliffe over the Toowoomba Clydesdales.
Into dummy half, O'Dwyer. Good rapid run here by Luke Scott. Oh, that's high. It's gone unchallenged. They're set on the right end. O'Dwyer, the dummy! Craig O'Dwyer! The experience of the little hooker shows the dummy. They had some good wrapping players coming to the right-hand side. It opened up like Sydney heads. They really had punched down this right-hand side. There'll be a caution on the run now, or a caution for number 12 in Neil Wyatt for the high tackle. But have a look at this open up. Dummy runners down one side. Away go Toowoomba. O'Dwyer steps back. The gap was there. He goes low and hard. Kerrod couldn't stop him. And he just gets that down too, O'Dwyer. Kerrod was hoping that perhaps it hadn't touched the grass. Can get it back to a 10-point lead, and probably should from this position. Hits it nicely. Pushes it though. He's pushed it to the right-hand side. 14-6 in favour of the Dolphins.
Craig O'Dwyer's taken the odds to it. If he hadn't scored this try, they might have been wishing that he passed the ball with the overlap out wide, but he realised that Rob Campbell was attracting 2 or 3 defenders. He opened up the space on the inside and dives through it, hurdles through it. Craig O'Dwyer is a very cunning dummy half player. And it's the minor premiers, the team who've done it all season, who are going to win the grand final.
Yeah, Neil Wharton in his first effort as coach in the big time has come up with the top grade, and that's a nice way to finish it. Tony Gould kicks into touch. They've won it. They've taken out the crown, the Bundy Gold Cup.
Yeah, and the supporters from Redcliffe, they realise it as the referee, Tony Maxsood, rules full-time, and the Redcliffe Dolphins have become the first team to win the Queensland Cup for a second time. 14 points to 6. Neil Wharton being congratulated by the officials from the Redcliffe Club, and they're the players themselves. And what a special moment this is for Big Bob Campbell, who currently is shaking hands with the referee. Neil Wharton there, the coach. And here we have the Redcliffe players themselves. Dennis White from Toowoomba showing the disappointment of what it's like to lose a grand final. There, James Hinchy in the middle of the picture. His last game for Redcliffe. What a send-off. Don't be surprised if they throw him on their shoulders. What a terrific game he had too. He was desperate in defence in the grand final. Showed fantastic courage as always.
to our coverage of the Queensland Cup. Today, the grand final with Redcliffe at home to Toowoomba. And so it's down to just two teams, and two outstanding teams at that. They played out the grand final last year. Toowoomba comfortably the minor premiers, but Redcliffe have been in exciting form in the last couple of weeks. Stage set now for a wonderful grand final, and Craig O'Dwyer leads out the home team, the Redcliffe Dolphins, and they have fantastic support here. There are lots of red in the crowd, and there's a big crowd, probably around about 6,000 or 7,000 people here for this grand final.
Tony Gould out of the action early. Gould is one of only two players surviving the inaugural grand finals back in 1996.
And Damon Keating leading out the Toowoomba team, and they've got their supporters here too. Large group of people coming down from Toowoomba in the buses. They've got just that little bit of extra experience too. So look at that scene, marvellous scene here, a magnificent Dolphin Oval. And it's like stepping out of the middle of winter into the middle of summer, because off we go. Redcliffe in the red and white kicking off. Toowoomba in the blue colours, first use of the ball as it's taken forward by Kirk Reynoldson. And tackled just after crossing his own 20-metre line. Brent Tate getting in there at dummy half as they swing the ball early. Kenny McGuinness getting the pass away, and a lost opportunity there for Toowoomba. So O'Dwyer is going to keep it going on the right. Michael Roberts, Adam Mogg involved early. Nice dummy by Mogg. Can he go all the way? So close. Held up just short of. Oh, lovely quick play the ball, and could be a try here. Can he get it down? Yes. Try to Jason Weber.
On the ground, he didn't get it down initially. Held there momentarily. He tries to spin around. A hand underneath there. Well, that's going to be a close call. I think Eddie Ward has no other option other than to award the try. And there it is. And Redcliffe get an absolute dream start after fifth tackle. Will they go the end goal again? Out of dummy half goes Mogg. He puts it in the end goal. Is it going to sit for them? Redcliffe at first there. It's another try for the Dolphins. I think Adam Mogg might be the first one there. Wow.
That's extraordinary. So they've picked up two tries in pretty quick time. They have started like a train, the Redcliffe Dolphins.
After only about 9 minutes, Roberts from right in front. Thanks very much. 10-0 in favour of the reigning premiers.
Well, you really want to have Toowoomba behind you in these games, because, and that's exactly where Redcliffe have them. If they get to the front, Toowoomba can be very confident front runners. But here's Adam Mogg putting the kick in, perfectly judged, stands up. Two of them were there. No one from Toowoomba even close.
Here's Toowoomba. They're into the corner. What a hit back by the Clydesdales. Michael Ryan. Well, we've just seen Craig O'Dwyer score the hooker for Redcliffe, and all of a sudden Michael Ryan, with some recent Broncos experience, dashes down a blind side and scores a try like a will-o'-the-wisp.
Great work by the little hooker, and it would have been a big boost to Toowoomba to get him back as well, but no goal. Score remains 10-4 in favour of the Dolphins. 15 out, good quick play the ball. Casey Maguire's going to try the high kick. It's coming down in the end goal area. McGuinness is up there. Chance foul, try! A try to Toowoomba. He's going to go for the replay.
Time off.
I think it will be a try, Jerry. Did it go back off the hands of Toowoomba? That's the big question. You can see Ricky Hewinson was always in trouble. He might have the headgear on, but he's got no sun visor. He was looking right into the sun there. Plenty of attention. Well, one player didn't actually play at the ball. I reckon the number 3 in Irwin put a bit of a push in the back. Certainly the ball cleanly grounded there by Tony Duggan. But is there any play on the man? Hewinson is the one. Here he's in trouble, and well, there's no push. He seemed to be going for. I think that's going to be a fair try. Duggan dives on it. The ball's gone backwards, and he's got it as a fair try. Eddie Ward, the video referee. Can they get it back to 10-all? And it's coming back the other way. What a kick down the middle in the end. And Damien Quinn has done his job to bring it back to 10-all.
33 out now. Ryan, what a great run. Ryan into the clear. He's got Fred alongside him. Fred's regathered the ball. That might be, Wally said it's the fifth tackle. Fifth and last here. Ryan slipping it away. McGuinness might be able to score back inside. A try. Reynoldson, I think, might have gone over. It is. Kirk Reynoldson has scored the try, and Toowoomba have hit the lead. Do you believe that? Kick looks good. staying inside the post despite the breeze, and now they're out to a 16-10 lead. Great last pass there. Now they spread it wide. Tony Gill, can he get a late kick in? Oh, doesn't need to. The numbers. Wilson in the corner. George Wilson scores and Redcliffe head back. Oh, this is a great grand final, and we're only at the halfway point. Not even there yet.
What a fantastic try from Redcliffe.
He's kicking into it. He struck it pretty well. Look at that. Over the black dot, or the red dot, of course, here at Dolphin Oval. Michael Roberts has converted. And at half-time, it's exactly as it was at the beginning of the game. Nothing between the two teams.
This match, obviously, Roberts out here to Gould. Plenty of players in motion. Up there to Wynyard. Wynyard straight through. Andrew Wynyard running the angle. Bust the tackle. Bust straight through the tackle of Murphy. Gould decided, and it seemed to be a delay in the decision, to pick up the straight runner. Bang! He had a player on the inside coming out, but Wynyard, he is a good player, this guy.
All day, but again kicking into the breeze, so it's not easy, but he gets it. It's now 22-16 in favour of the Dolphins in the grand final. Penalty goal attempt is no goal.
What?
22-16 remains the score. From
quickly to play it. Here comes McGuinness again, straightens the ruck, gaps in the middle, goes to the right-hand side, fires it over the top, on the chest of Damien Quinn, in the corner! 16 points goes to 20, and it's now 22 points to 20, kick to come.
Was drawing the defence from the far side. He saw that chance. He had a couple of players closer to him. He could see that he'd drawn the defenders on Quinn back infield.
His own try.
It's coming back. He's got it. It's 22-all in the grand final.
Let's see what's set up for their set play. Up to Roberts, the two playmakers, Gould. Gould, a couple of runners. Beautiful pass. Luke Scott. What a pass from Phil Gould. What a pass. Very similar to Wynyard running the angle on this side of the field. Phil Gould picks up another second rower, and they charge over again.
The defence had no chance of stopping him, and here he goes. Watch the way he hits this ball. There, 100 miles an hour. Would you like to be in front of that? No, thank you very much. He was able to go over and score a vital try that might even win the Dolphins a second successive Queensland Cup. Conversion, no goal, no goal. It's only 4-point margin. Warren is short of the line. If they can score now and convert, they can win. Duggan for the line. Reverse. Try is up to Toowoomba. He's in. Try.
Everything, not yet, Jerry.
No, they'll go to the replay. I think it might be Maguire is very close. And the hooter's gone.
And it's right alongside the post.
The hooter's gone. The scores will be locked if he awards a try. There he is. It's Casey Maguire.
Short.
On the line. Try.
No.
How would you like to be?
He was short and rolling across the try line at the time. Mogg has definitely got him up. Whether he grazed the try line.
How would you like to be Eddie Ward ruling on this? This is the grand final in his hands.
When the ball is upended now, it's on the line.
Very
here,
close,
that's
mate.
on the line. That's a
Yeah,
try.
he touched the line. I think you're right, Jerry.
That is a try.
Yes,
That's
it is. Yes,
Try.
it is.
Now, the all-important conversion kick, because it's not over yet. The hooter's already gone. If he kicks it, they win it. He's kicked it! Toowoomba are the Queensland Cup champions. Casey Maguire scored the winning try. Damien Quinn kicked the winning goal. And the Toowoomba Clydesdales have stolen it in the last moment of the grand final to win 28-26. Absolutely superb game of rugby league and an amazing finish.
First of all, congratulations, but at the same time, that's one of the greatest games of footy I've seen.
Well, it's great. It's the most game this coach, and 30 seconds out from full time. It's anyone's. It's just fabulous. Tremendous effort from both sides. It was a great game of footy. It's easy for us to say that. I suppose we won, but I think both teams can be pretty proud of their performances today.
And Damon Keating raises the Queensland Cup for 2001. It's gone to Toowoomba. And there they go, the champions in the Queensland Cup for 2001. The boys from Toowoomba, 28-26. 2 tries to Duggan. He also kicked 4 goals. Quinn Ryan and Reynoldson also scored for Redcliffe. Webber, Wynyard, Wilson, O'Dwyer and Scott scoring tries. Roberts 3 goals. Toowoomba the champions in what has to be rated the best ever grand final. Thanks for your company throughout the year. Toowoomba the champions of the Queensland Cup.
And the Toowoomba team ready to come out, led by Nick Kenny, their captain. What a responsibility. They're young. As they come out, you can see these youthful faces onto Lang Park, the mecca of rugby league in Queensland. The place to have the Queensland Cup Grand Final. What a big moment. None of them have tasted a Queensland Cup Grand Final before, and that places more responsibility on their captain. His 67th career game. He's played plenty of matches, none bigger than this one.
Redcliffe, and that's Troy Lindsay. What a performance by the Redcliffe club. They've made 8 of the 11 Queensland Cup Grand Finals, and Troy Lindsay, the skipper, he's played in 7 of those, so a fantastic performance. He's a piece of the furniture down there at Redcliffe, is Troy Lindsay. 223rd game in the Queensland Cup.
The kick-off by Nick Parfitt. Redcliffe will get first taste of it, taken by Fox and offloaded, and so it's big Adam Starr just across his own 10-metre line, managed to keep the ball alive, and Michael Roberts, dangerous, but is grabbed there by Chris Muckett. Tackled.
First up run from the tap, this time up to Eastwood. Just a couple of settlers by Toowoomba to bring it toward midfield. Is this the play? Let's see it now, up there to Green, back on the inside to big Ben Bayou, little spin goes through, Bayou all the way Ben Bayou, that was too easy. Redcliffe missing tackles, and they had a horror start, I said 2 weeks ago. Well, this could be a nightmare.
Ominous indeed, and big Ben Bayou, what a player. He was one of the stars of the major semi-final. Unfortunately for the Broncos, he's headed for North Queensland. How about this power, strength, determination? Look at that, career points for Nick Parfitt, 658, and you can make it 660. He's out of the extras, and it's 6-0 in favour of Toowoomba.
Couldn't reciprocate, second man play up to Turner, chance to Turner! Doesn't matter whether you got a bad hamstring or not. If a player misses a tackle, and it was Greg Eastwood, Redcliffe have hit back just as they needed to do. And Marty Turner, fantastic effort.
This grand final, Marty Turner, because of that injury, and there's Michael Roberts just holding up the pass. Adam Starr took the dummy run, and that left the chance. The defence had concentrated on Starr, and the little man, as the big man took the hits, the little man took the opening, and through he went. Marty Turner scores the career points. That's extraordinary. And there's another 2 to Greg Burke, and the scores are level at 6-all in the grand final. Nicole, last tackle play from the Dolphins. Last opportunity in this first half. Marty Turner, 6 to go. 6 to go, he won't need them. Oh yes, he will. He'll need 1 anyway. He plays it. Roberts got numbers all the way. Cullen's in! Ryan Cullen! Fabulous try by the Dolphins, and what a key time for it to come right on the half-time break.
And then Ryan Cullen, who just lives up in the attack line, was put into space. They were threadbare out there, the Toowoomba Clydesdales. Have a look at Roberts again, orchestrating things from the dummy half. Finds Ryan Cullen, and he well and truly slips through there. Redcliffe will hit the front.
Yes, he's added them all right. And so that gives Redcliffe a key lead at half-time. 12 points to 6. Only a converted try, of course, but it's important. And so at half-time, it's the Redcliffe Dolphins 12, leading Toowoomba 6.
Bromley been called on to drop into dummy half. Second man play back to Roberts. He's going to go for a 1-pointer. Well, that's premature for mine. It'll give him the 7-point lead. That means Toowoomba have to score twice. Will it be the decisive blow, or will it come back to haunt them?
In a low-scoring game, maybe it was worth it, but there's a long, long time to go in the grand final. A long time to go indeed. We've still got field of play. Back inside from Gemelli to Roberts. And this is an interesting one, right across. They fly high, Emmett, brilliant, and maybe there's a chance. Bromley's in! Fantastic kick by Roberts. How about Emmett getting high? And of course, Bromley was there to score the try. What an important try that is. The field goal's now looking sensational, and Redcliffe leads 17 points to 6.
Great effort here from Roberts, perfectly placed kick. For some reason, Minto doesn't go up for this. He decides to allow Emmett to get a clean catch on it, and that's a magnificent take there by Nick Emmett. He pops it out to Bromley. He just had enough room to move. Roberts, perfectly placed kick, and Minto decided to take the, or put the tackle on Emmett, but he was so high above the pack, Emmett, he had his hands free to be able to offload at will, and he actually got upended as well, Nick Emmett. 2 converted tries without this kick could get Toowoomba back into it. He's hit it beautifully. Is it far enough? No! So they've still got a glimmer of hope for Clydesdales. 17-6, 9 to go.
Number 4 from dummy half to Rio. Good run. Muckett now. Muckett's always in. Chris Muckett scores.
Oh, he's going to go to the video. Has he grounded it? So is this a loose carry? He's raked it out.
It's one-on-one anyway.
Yeah, but can it be play on, Warren? That's the question. I doubt it. And they didn't even ground it anyway. Ryan Cullen merely picked it up. But it won't be a try. Knocked on.
Was around the legs. Fox in a dummy half. Turner. The crossfield kick. Here we go again. Nick Emmett, the aerial specialist on Minto. Emmett's got it. Another one. It's an action replay. Bromley goes in the corner. How good's Nick Emmett in the air? And the Dolphins have won the grand final.
Great crossfield kick here from Marty Turner this time. And Emmett, whilst he didn't take it cleanly, he had the wherewithal to regain his own fumble. Hadn't been touched by anyone else, so he's quite enabled to do that. Perfect kick here from Marty Turner. Emmett up and then looks around to regather and pops it to Bromley. You may have thought you were watching an action replay, and Redcliffe, what a comeback. It'll have to go down in the annals, this one.
He doesn't, but that doesn't matter. It's 21-6 in favour of Redcliffe in the grand final with 3 minutes to go. They go again. Adam Starr 8 metres out, and a chance and a try to Mark Shipway. Mark Shipway has been around from the very beginning with this Redcliffe team. Played in the first grand final in '96, Mark Shipway, and here he is 10 years later scoring a try in one.
Yeah, great effort, Shipway. By this stage, Toowoomba, well, they're shattered. They're a shattered side. They came with great expectation.
Can add just that little bit extra icing. He's kicked it, the flags go up, and it's the Dolphins 27 leading Toowoomba 6. At the 2006 grand final, Adam Starr says, come get me if you want me, but I'll grind it into the ground, and the Dolphins are the champions, full time in the grand final of 2006. The Queensland Cup again goes to Redcliffe, 27-6. Can you believe that? After an amazing major semi-final 2 weeks ago when they were beaten 56-22, and they have come back for a 27-6 victory. Little surprise that there is jubilation on the faces of these wonderful footy players and of this fabulous team. I love rugby league, and watching these scenes, why wouldn't you?
Successful coach Anthony Griffin. Congratulations, Anthony. I don't think you mind standing in the rain, mate, do you?
No, mate, no. Not even feeling it at the moment.
Mate, fantastic effort for you as a coach. You must feel a lot of pride. 2 weeks ago on the end of a hiding. That's a great comeback.
Yeah, it was. You know, we just had everyone has a bad day once a year. We just happened to have ours in the major semi, and you know, we didn't lose any belief in ourselves, and you know, it was just back to business on Monday. We knew if we got past East, we could do the job here today.
And what a big night or afternoon it's been for the Redcliffe Dolphins. 27-6 victory over Toowoomba with 2 tries to Bromley. Turner, Cullen and Shipway scoring tries. Greg Burke kicking 3 from 5. And Michael Roberts, that field goal that we questioned at the time, but it's amazing how it seemed to turn the game. For Toowoomba, just the 1 try to Ben Vayu. Nick Parfitt kicked 1 goal from 1 attempt. But it's the Redcliffe Dolphins who are the champions again in 2006 when it really counted today in the grand final. They reversed that disappointing performance in the major semi-final. Their fans turned up in numbers. They're very, very faithful fans, and it doesn't matter the weather conditions, they'll always be there for their champion team. And they are the champions, the Redcliffe Dolphins, champions of the Queensland Cup for 2006.